Hello and welcome to the class, my dear students. Today, we will be discussing about the age composition and literacy rate as one of the factor or attribute of population from the chapter demographic attributes. So let us first discuss about age composition. In this context, what we try and understand is that the population been categorized under different age. So in India, the categorization takes place in three stages, or in fact three groups. You can say from 0 to 15 years, then 15 to 59 years, and the third is 60 and above. And that population from 0 to 15 years is 30% of the total population of India. 15 to 59 years is 61.4%. And 60 and above is with 8.6% of the total population of India. So here what we see is the age group between 0 to 15 years is over 30%, which usually is not found in the developed areas. Why? It's because in India the age group between 0 to 15 is high. The reason that India has high birth rate and low mortality rate. The reason is high birth rate and low mortality rate. So this results in higher percentage of group between 0 to 15. Now this 0 to 15 and 60 and above are considered to be dependent groups because they are unproductive. One, because 60 and above is mostly considered as old people and they cannot perform much work, while the age group between 0 to 15 is considered to be very young children who are again unproductive. So they are known as dependents. But 15 to 59 years in India, with a total population of almost 61.4% of the total population in India, is considered to be the working people. The working people because they are much productive in terms of biological aspect, economical aspect or social aspect. So this age composition along with sex composition can very well be shown with the pyramid, that is, we call it age-sex pyramid. It's a graphical structure that shows the population with both the attributes of sex as well as age. Onto the left hand side of the pyramid, that is the age-sex pyramid, the male population is shown, while on the right the female population is shown. So in this, what we find still in India, that the population group between 0 to 15 years of age is higher. So what must be the reason of this being quite high? We already came to know. Now this high rate of young people, or in fact high population of young group, is mostly found in the rural areas again than in the urban areas. Because in rural areas, because due to lack of education or due to lack of better facilities, people are not much aware about the rising population. So this results in high birth rate in the rural areas. The second is, we see that in rural areas there is no much earnings, there is no better life standard. So most of the working people, that is aged between 15 to 59, they migrate from that region, leaving behind mostly the dependents. So this results in higher percentage of young population in the rural areas than as compared to urban areas. Now the second topic for today's discussion is literacy. When we say literacy, it is the ability to read and write. The ability to read and write is what we call literacy rate or literacy level. But then again a factor comes is not all age group can be included in this literacy rate or literacy level, because very young childs like from 0, 1, 2, 3, they are not able to read and write so properly. Hence, in India, the literacy level is accounted as per 1991 census. The literacy level is accounted from 7 years and above. So, the population over the age of 7 years is accounted in the literacy level. If the people or if the population above 7 years are able to read and write and understand, then that accounts to the literacy level of India. Now, this literacy level or literacy rate thus can be calculated as the literate population over population above 7 years multiplied by 100. So, this is known as literacy rate, that if the population above 7 years of age is able to read and write, then the literacy level will be high. If it is less, then literacy rate will be low. Now, in this context, we can also discuss that as per 1991 census of 1991, the literacy rate was calculated as crude literacy rate, that is literate population divided by total population of the country. So, this is how it was accounted as per 1991 census as crude literacy rate. Now, when we look onto figures and stats, we find years back in 1901, we found that the literacy rate was very low and almost 95% of the population, the total population, was illiterate and only mere 5% of the population was literate. But as time passed by and with years passing by, now as per 2011 census, we find a leap over in the education system, like in a leap over in the literacy level of India with almost 64.32% of literacy rate of the total population. This means that India has changed over the years in terms of education. So, during these years, from 1901 till 1991, there was a gradual increase in the literacy rate. But after 1991, the literacy rate almost doubled between 1991 to 2011. This is the reason why the age group, in fact, the years between 1991 till 2011 is considered to be literacy decade or literary decade. Now, literacy level throughout the country is not the same again. It varies from state to state. But the national average of literacy rate as per 2011 census is 64.32%. So, this is for the day. Thank you very much, class. You all stay safe.